Hello, welcome to the premiere edition of Lifestories. My name is Justine and I'm your host. This is a show where we have a one-on-one with different people who take us through their life experiences, from which we learn about virtues like self-control, forgiveness, reconciliation, compassion, love, among many. Today on the show, we meet a family whose breadwinner has fought an alcohol addiction. He has fought this fight in the public eye by virtue of his position in the Uganda People's Defense Forces. This is the story of Major General Pecos Kuteesa.
I'm a living testimony because I died and resurrected.
When you talk to Major General Pecos Kuteesa, you want to convince yourself that what he's saying is actually made up or not as bad as it sounds. After spending 4 months in coma and 18 hours on the operating table, Major General Pecos Kuteesa has a lot to say about alcoholism, vis-a-vis his family, his life, his reputation, the people that cared about him, and his turning point.
I started drinking when I was, 18 years when I joined the army. And I drank for more than 30 years. When you start drinking first, the first taste of booze is always nasty. But you try again and try again. Now, the problem is the more you drink, the less you get in touch with reality. You don't think about tomorrow. You get up one day, your first step is, when is the next drink? From day to one to day two. Here across is where I used to buy these Toto packs.
Yes.
When I tell you that I had gone down below, I'd really gone below. I reached the bottom. And when you're an alcoholic, you tend to think that the world is against you. Everybody who talks to you think he's Bamparana, Tebanjagala. Now, why should they equal you? But it's there's a sense of guilt. Every morning you get up when you have a hangover, you feel guilty because the things you did, you don't remember them. So, and that guilt continues with you.
So when you feel guilty, you want a rebound,
Yes, you drink.
and the rebound is still alcohol.
Yes. The only soothing factor is another thought. So by the time I was saying that I couldn't sign even a check or anything before taking a potawaraji. I thought that when I drink, it oils my mind. I think very fast. When you are carrying out an argument, when you are drunk, you see it oils the tongue. You talk so fast and you think you are very sharp. You can hear when you find drunkards talking. But when you want to know that they are really hopeless, it's to go to a place where you have been drinking with when you are sober and meet them. You see them arguing the same thing again, like this tape when it is spoiled and it's repetitive. The man is saying the same thing, and others think he's making a point, and they're heckling you. It's disgusting and nasty, but when you are in it, you feel that's the way it is. Now, when you drink for a long time, your fellow drunkards, the class you started with, start shunning you. So you look for a level which are equal to you. Once alcohol has taken charge of your system, there's when we say, for me, when I'm drunk, I sit behind the wheel, my vehicle goes to my home. You drive up to your house and you collapse in the compound. Now I'd reached that level, and I reached a level where it was so nauseating and challenging to my family. Those are things I recall when I sobered up. I would come up and you see the soldiers carrying you when your kids are in the sitting room, or daddy is drunk, carrying you to your bedroom. It's really nasty. But when you are doing it, you don't notice it. The first thing that alcohol do to you creates the sense of denial. I don't think I've ever seen a drunkard who says I'm drunk.
I don't usually see them.
They are not there.
They all claim they're
The
very
first thing
sober.
they claim is that they are not drunk. Okay? When you become an alcoholic, you are a slave to the bottle. You know what a slave means? It's the bottle now which does the thinking for you. I was leaving alcohol, the whole system. Drink makes you isolated, especially when you start hiding it in your pockets and pretend you are sober. Now that is, you are telling yourself a lie.
And your uniform has very many pockets. I guess it was very
But
easy
even
for
when
you
in civilian clothes,
Yes.
mostly I usually not drink in uniform, incidentally. I respect this dress too much.
Major General Pecos Kuteesa, I'm looking at a gentleman that first of all came from a very disciplined background. You came from a very humble family and you had training of the army. The army is renowned for its discipline. You were not a bachelor, you were married to somebody and you had children. You had a good job. You were serving in a highly respected institution, the army. And I bet all this was very important to you, even as you held that bottle. I bet you didn't forget that you have all this, above that bottle. But then you kept drinking and drinking to the point that you had to be carried home. So was this alcohol more important than all the above, all that?
When you are going down the drain, the people who jump, who laugh with you, are the real enemies. Those who shun you are the real friends. Alcoholism goes with lots of immoral behavior, and I was not immune to beautiful girls, and not necessarily beautiful, because when you drink, you get a delusion. There's a simple story of when you go to a bar and a waitress brings you beer, the first beer. You look at the waitress, look at the legs, she's nothing. When she brings the second one, you start noticing something good on her. By the fourth bottle, she's beautiful. By the fifth bottle, she's Miss World. So that alcoholism creates that illusion. So we ended up with so many ladies who are not worthy to be out with. The indiscipline, which is inborn in everybody, is highly elevated by alcoholism. All the wrong things you ought to have done, you ought to not have done, but when you drink, all the bad habits come up. The more you drink, the more you lose your moral integrity. And that's when I told you, look for the level where you fit. You will find you could no longer fit in the class of people who were working with. You are talking about a good job. I was sacked from the army, put on Katebe for more than 14 years. In my ignorance, I thought the army or the leadership was against me. But I found out it was good for my health. Later, when I reorganized, I found what I had missed. My health was deteriorating because I lost appetite. Some people drink and they eat. Other people, because I told you alcohol as an element reacts differently to different people's physiology. Me, it would deny me from the appetite, so I couldn't eat. But instead of feeling hungry, when I felt hungry, I would drink a total of water, and I feel the delusion that I'm satisfied. So I was deteriorating. Now, my liver was being attacked. Now, The liver is the main organ in the body. It's the biggest. It controls many, many things. It controls even the synapse, the body, the messages from the body. So once it's attacked, all the other areas of the body fail. In fact, when they told me the liver is having scars in India, they told me, stop drinking. I said, this was joking. But by the time I realized my liver had died completely. I mean, they had to move it, throw it away. If someone had taken a picture of how I was looking, now when your liver gets dead, your excretion system dies. You can no longer go to the toilet. You can never pass urine. Okay? Now, the stomach was bulging. I was getting like elephantiasis. The legs were firing. The arms were like this. I was like a kwashako. And I was not in charge of my, yes. In fact, I would say one day if I would only look here like this, I couldn't lift my arm. So I was just garbage. Anybody looking at me would say, why are people wasting time with this person? He's a friend of mine. He's a businessman in town. He came there. He had his wife. He looked at me. When he came back, later when we met, he said, that time, even if they had asked me to give you just my fingernail, I would never give you it because I knew you were dead.
Despite the bleak circumstances surrounding Major General Pecos Kutesa's life, his wife, Mrs. Dora Kutesa, made a decision that not only shocked her friends and family, but also the media raved about it for days. Founded on a deep love for her husband, she made a choice to donate a vital organ of her body to save the love of her life. We meet this extraordinary wife and mother after the break.
They had to cut up my wife.
At that point, really nobody wanted to do anything with him.